Okay, that's the Judean wilderness right there. Jesus Christ, conquering lion of the tribe of Judah. There's where we get the symbolism for this Judean wilderness. And of course, if we look into the book of Enoch, which, let me see if I can pop it open real quick. I wasn't prepared. Well, it looks like I am actually prepared. Let me show you this. What do we got over here? You have to have watched the Tradition Bound series to understand. What do we got below the waterline? Right here, we've got Leviathans. What do we got when they're above the waterline? That's behemoths, okay? All right, let's see if I can get some of this stuff spread out, okay? This is the straight and narrow path. That's what we stay on. The straight and narrow path, once again, it's many things, but the fullness of its understanding is staying absolutely centered with the perfection of Jesus Christ as your main objective and your main goal. As you're going through the valley of the shadow of death, yea, I will fear no evil. And that's how you're going to be able to do it. If you do it any other way, other than with Jesus, you're going to fall. You're going to fall. And these beings are perfectly aware of that. And they think that this is the stage where they're going to be able to do it. Okay? So, just understand here. All right, now, I want to show you something real quick to give you a little bit of validity about what's about to come our way. And that day shall be distributed for food. 2 monsters, a female monster whose name is Leviathan, dwelling in the depths of the sea, above the springs of water. Who is the springs of water? Jesus Christ. What did I try to tell you? They're trying to dilute, pollute, disturb, and stop you from recognizing the spring of water. And of course, this is when we see that in the beginning of Genesis, when that God is going over the water, and then there was a darkness that was spread over the face of the deep. That's that symbolism right there, where they're trying to cover the springs of water, which is really the symbolic truth of the living word of Jesus Christ, which is freely poured out upon all flesh. But they don't want you to realize that that is where your power is, because when you do, you got power over them. 2nd monster, and a male monster whose name is Behemoth, which possesses moving on his breast the invisible wilderness. Well, there it is. There's the invisible wilderness that nobody can see. And it relates all back to vibration, vibrational distortion, frequency, the alteration of this whole time-space continuum, at least your reality perspective of it. That's it right there. That's the Judean wilderness. And of course, it says that these 2 monsters will be distributed for food. What I tell you, they're going up and down to unify the black, white, the good, the bad, the, all of the cold, the hot, all of these different perspectives, the material, the spiritual, together as one being. And that's exactly what it just said. In that day shall be distributed for food 2 monsters. Well, they believe they're going to unify that. They're going to unify that current. They'll unify themselves as that. And that is actually will be the embodiment of them as God, when they unify these 2 symbolisms of these seeming creatures, but really the creatures themselves are only symbolizing the condition of the experience that they're in as they're below the waterline and when they become above the waterline. So this is the Judean wilderness. So study the Tradition Bound series, study the chart that I showed here, and you'll understand. Now, to put this in perspective, let's say this. You've heard the verse where it says, Jesus Christ says, you must be hot or you must be cold. But if you're lukewarm, I'm going to spew you out. That's the fulfillment. This is the Judean wilderness. That's the fulfillment of this verse there. You've got to either be hot or you got to be cold. If you're lukewarm, I'm going to spew you out. Who's lukewarm? Well, it's these beings right here that are running from the cold to the hot, that are going up and down, up and down, up and down. He's going to spew these out. But he said, you can be cold. That's us, if we're in the material. He says you can be cold or you can be hot. That means you got the spirit. Okay? He says you can either be cold, or you can be hot. But if you are lukewarm, that means if you're going from material to hot over and over again, switching back and forth, this, that. And then on the higher macro level of what these beings are due, which is calculated to do this, he's going to spew them out. I'll be back.